Hey everybody, and welcome back to the shop. And this is going to be part one of the Chevy K10 project. I'm going to discontinue the other project series because if you've been following the channel, you know that the K10 was severely damaged when a tree fell off on top of the building. I'll show you what it looked like. And so now we've got to deal with that damage. So today I have got a replacement cab. Let's go down here and take a look at it, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright everybody, this is the cab I got. Found on Craigslist. It's an 84 K10 with a manual transmission. And it appears that somebody's modified. It looks like it must have had a twin stick transfer case at one time. You can tell this has been pretty redneck. Somebody had done some work to it and repainted it, but they didn't take the bed off when they repainted it, so we'll have to do all that over. The doors, I got the cab, the two doors, and a hood, which is this hood. Got one bad spot right here with a Bondo flicked off of it for 250 bucks. So not too bad. The doors not in terrible shape. They will be needing, you know, some work. I may or may not need this door, but the other door I probably will need. So here's the inside. You can see they've cut out for a radio, regular style radio. I will be cutting that out and replacing that with the factory style. And for some reason they also cut out the dash, so I'll be fixing all that. And then down here at the transfer case, obviously they've cut this hole right here out that isn't factory. So what I'll probably end up doing, since all that's damaged up in here, is I'll just cut all this out and put my hump in here and weld it back in. The floor is in pretty good shape, except for down here on these side panel covers thingies. It's pretty rotten there. A little bit of rust down there. Of course, if anybody's ever familiar with a Chevy, it collects water in this area. So, you know, that's pretty much to be expected. It's not quite as bad over there. A little bit, but there's a little bit of rust through in the floor over there, but not too bad. But this hump's terrible. I mean, they just hacked that all to crap. I don't know what the deal with this light is. I guess they had my interior light. So it looks like we've got the parking brake mechanism. We've got the gas pedal. This cab, thankfully, has already been stripped, so that saves me a lot of time. Got a good tinted glass in it. All that'll have to come out. This windshield's good. We'll have to get it out. Now, on the outside, we've got some bubbling definitely going on right here. So that all have to be fixed. I don't know how much has already been patched, but this all looks factory here, and it looks pretty solid. So this is not a Silverado cab. It doesn't have the hole or the little things for this back trim, so we won't be putting that on. I'm not going to go back with dual colors. It's going to be solid blue. Over here on this side, we do have a little bit of rust through in this cab corner. The door over here, you can see somebody's already done a little bit of work, and they've got a big Bondo spot. All that'll have to be sanded down, and this door's not in bad shape. It's probably better shape than the one I got. And I want you to look at this redneck step here. I've never seen a step. They made it out of pipe and piston rods. That's pretty cool though. I've never seen a step like that. Couldn't get that off real easy, so we left it on. And up front, it looks like they attempted to do some work here. I don't know. What I'm assuming was this was not originally an air cab, and so they wanted to add air conditioning, so they cut this out. So what I'll probably end up having to do is cut that out of the other cab and weld in down that seam right there, and weld in the factory hole for the air conditioning, because that just ain't gonna cut it right there. Now the dilemma, of course, is getting it off this trailer. This trailer sits pretty high, and we loaded it with a front end loader, which I think my skid steer would reach that high, but it would be a heck of a load on it. Being that high up, it'd probably be right up against the cab of that skid steer. So we're gonna have to come up with something different. I also see some holes back here where somebody screwed something in. That'll have to be welded up and sanded out, and that's not a big deal. We did a spray bomb paint job. It's got runs in it. So all that back glass will come out and everything, so probably won't be saving much of that. Underneath, it don't look too bad. It actually looks very clean compared to the cab that I had. And here's the piston rod step they put in there. I hope they haven't welded it to the back of that. If they have, that's going to be a pain to get off, but we'll see what we can do with it. Normally I would just back it on this gantry and I would take it off this trailer and put it on a smaller trailer. But unfortunately this container is preventing me from backing that trailer through this gantry. It's sticking out too far. So we're going to have to come up with a different way of getting that thing off. And I'll show you what I kind of got in mind. See if it's going to work. Alright, so right now I've got the skid steer in here, but I will be taking it out and putting the K10 in. And I'm thinking that the front of that K10 is going to be somewhere about where the edge of this skid steer, somewhere around that crack line. That's going to leave about 10 foot right here. It's pretty flat, not quite level. It is definitely sloping down, but it's pretty flat to work on this cab. Now back here in the back, we have a hand winch that I've used before to get the cab off the trailer, a shorter, smaller, lower trailer. And this would have wrapped around this piece up here, and then this piece right here that actually went out over. It's just got a hook on it. There was a steel bar that went across from one rafter to the other, and it hung from it. Apparently I have thrown that steel bar away. I can't find it, but it's solid steel. I'm thinking that cab weighs probably 400 to 500 pounds. So it wouldn't take much to hold that kind of weight. I think these 2x6s would hold it really easy as long as it was spread out between the two of them. The problem is if I unload it back here, one, I ain't gonna have room to back that big trailer all the way back here. So that ain't gonna really work. So what I'm thinking about is, since I'm gonna be working on it right here, I'm gonna go ahead and mount me another hand winch on this post, come up and then over between these two rafters right here, and we'll hang that little hook thing. I've already got a hand winch. This is rated for 1,000 pounds. And the only difference is the crank on this one is opposite of that one. So I'm gonna have to mount this one on this side of the post to be able to crank it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is try to figure out, first I got to find a piece of pipe that I can stick above these two rafters, and that's going to have to be pretty small. I'm thinking that other one was about 3/4 of an inch, but it was solid. So let me look around and see what I can find. Alright, so I didn't find the thing I was looking for, but I found a good piece of angle. This is probably definitely 1/4 inch angle. Part of it's already been cut out down here on this end, so we just got a flat and then angles. So my idea is to leave it angled between the rafters and cut about 3 inches of flat on to go over the top of each rafter. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark 3 inches right here. And then I'm going to go down 46 inches. And we'll mark 46. That's harder to do up here. Do what I can anyway. You ain't got to be perfect. And then from there we're going to go 3 inches. This angle is pretty pitted, but I think it'll work pretty well for what we're looking for. So basically we'll have this 3 inch here, 3 inches on that end, and 46 in the middle. So I'm gonna go grab my torches. We'll get this thing cut up and we'll see if we can get it mounted. camera pointing in the right place. There you go. You know, I just realized something. I'm gonna have to cut a hole in that right there. It actually needs to be down here to be able to hang that hook in it. Actually, I can probably, I might not cut this thing. I may not. Exactly where it needs to be nowhere. So, there we go. Might have to cut a little bit more off of this to get it to slide down, but you know, I think if I can drill me a 1/2 inch hole right here and put me I could probably get me one of those little clevis, put in there and hang that hook right here. And actually, let's see if we got it centered. And center would be closer to that board, and it's a little off center, but I wanted it high as I could get it and still be able to get the cab lifted up without it swinging against the fender wells. So I may have to leave it a little bit off center. But I think that'll work, because like I said, it's only about 400 to 500 pounds on that cab. So maybe that'll work. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and please rate, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2 coming up soon.